Greenhouse here? Why wouldn't you let me know this earlier?
I feel sorry for the prince. I bet she's put a charm on Genova.
I seem to recall speaking ill of immortals is not allowed in the palace. Am I right?
You let him drink, didn't you? He's been asleep since yesterday afternoon. What's going on?
I thought that since you brought Betsy here, that things were going really well with you two. But judging by your face, that doesn't seem to be the case.
Are you just trying to upset me? You know that's not what I mean.
Saini saa ngapi?
Sina saa.
Woi! Hii unakaa kama vampire. So unajua mkaka mechanical problems.
Wewe usiingize huko ndani. Karibu nipate nini? Cesarean stroke kwa roho.
Good turn, Miller inside the penalty area. He keeps on He's the only swinger in town. Roger Miller has got the Cameroon bench absolutely ecstatic. Nikita seems to want to get involved. I do not believe it. He's thrown the chances away now. That's it. 2-0, Roger Miller, and that is always the danger. Roger Miller makes this World Cup belong to Cameroon.
Over the years, patients had to travel to facilities in far-flung areas seeking medical consultancy and diagnostics. This, however, will not be the case for residents of Bomet County following the installation of a modern medical device, Tel Adok, at Longisa County Referral Hospital. The robotic machine will not only link patients with eye consultants, but also those suffering from various ailments across the county's hospitals with expertise from overseas.
And I'm just thrilled to meet everybody and to be part of this partnership with you.
Dr. Weldon Kirui says through the use of cameras, a consultant can observe a patient in the wards and recommend treatment.
You wheel this machine to where the patient is, you talk with the consultant who is online. We enroll them, whether MTRH within the country, whether Kenyatta, or outside the country. So they enroll themselves, and then we put them in schedule, in program, whereby they'll be able to say, if this is a renal patient, they are able to see and advise without us referring the patient.
He further says that the technology, when deployed in the health facilities across the county, will enhance provision of medical services.
And it uses actually a rechargeable power set, battery. It is able to go anywhere within the hospital. So it is a case of we are referring the consultant rather than the patient. That is actually where we are headed with this machine.
Speaking during its commissioning, Bomet Governor Hilary Barchok says the machine, which was donated by a German company, will revolutionize medical consultancy and enhance treatment while reducing the cost of hiring consultants.
All the facilities that we have in Kenya can share one consultant or specialist who is seated in Nairobi, in MTRH, in Kenyatta National Hospital or Nairobi Hospital or wherever part of this country.
Barchok added that the equipment will enhance knowledge among healthcare workers by linking them with specialists from any part of the world.
Personally, I'm very happy, and I want to say that I believe that our doctors in Longisa will be empowered. They will be able to build relationship with doctors in your country.
The facility also received high-end ophthalmic microscopes for eye surgery from Christian Blind Mission Organization.
With your kind support, they can also get funding towards an operating table.
David Atambo, representative of Blind Mission Organization.
And all these equipment are equipment that are being donated towards the cause of improving access to eye health services.
To what we have today in politics, a lot happened over the weekend, and we should be expecting much to happen this week, starting today. All right, being the most important one being the vetting of the CS nominees who are going to take up the cabinet secretary role in the Kenya Kwanza government. Starting the lineup today will be Musalia Mudavadi, who is poised to be the prime cabinet secretary in the Kenya Kwanza government. We have got Justin Muturi for the Attorney General position, Aden Duale Defense, Alfred Mutua, Foreign Affairs, Alice Wahome, Water and Sanitation, and finally today, Davis Chirchir for the energy docket. We have got so much to discuss about this. Of course, this is not something new. The vetting has been happening since the advent of the 2010 Constitution. And in studio with me, I have, the last time he was here, he was our Kili. Today he has a different crown, Speaker of the County Assembly of Kitui, Kevin Katisia. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Victor.
That's a huge title.
Thank you. Thank you, but let me correct you and tell you that I'm still an advocate.
Once an advocate, always an advocate.
Yes, I'll be an advocate for the rest of my life.
Yes.
Yes, but I thank God for the opportunity which has given me.
Yes.
And also thank the people of Kitui County through their MCAs for electing me to be the Speaker of the County Assembly of Kitui.
It must be a heavy docket, so to speak.
It is heavy, but I believe I will manage it because I think I have the grace of God and the MCAs have assured me that they will support me to deliver on my mandate.
Yes.
And I think I am up to the task because I know what the roles of a speaker are.
Yeah.
And I believe I will do what is necessary to make sure that I deliver on my mandate and help the MCAs also deliver on their mandates.
For the sake of common Mwananchi, because when you talk about MCAs and the county assembly, that is actually where everything begins. At the county level, the county assembly level, then it goes up to the National Assembly, to the Senate, and what have you. How important is the county assemblies in terms of constitutional dispensation of all these roles, and we have devolution, so to speak?
Actually, the county assembly is the main arm, or it's a very crucial arm in any county government. If you look at Article 176 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, it says that there shall be a county government comprised of county assembly and county executive. I'm sure the drafters of the Constitution who did not make a mistake. It was not a coincidence why the county assembly is named as number one, county assembly, and then the county executive. Because, Victor, there is nothing whatsoever a county executive can do without the input of the county assembly. And the success of any county government depends on the efficiency and the success of our county assembly. And I believe I have a very heavy responsibility in ensuring the success of Kitui County. Because anything, my governor, the governor of Kitui, Governor Malombe, I know and we have shared a lot on his agenda for the people of Kitui. And it is only us now, the assembly, who will be able to enable him deliver on his mandate. And we have actually agreed that we shall work together as one government, because you see, there's a reason why the county assembly and the county executive, they are tied to the hip. No arm can exist without the other. The executive can't exist without the assembly can't exist without the executive. So we have to work together. We must partner for the success of the county government of Kitui. Yes.
In the past, of course, not Kitui, we've seen in some counties where MCAs were compromised to bring some kind of chaos.
Yes.
Nairobi is a classic example where it was chaos all over.
Yes.
But I'm quite interested to understand how you're going to bring some kind of synergy amongst the MCAs as the speaker and the county government.
Victor, as you have said, sometimes ensuring harmony and unity between the executive and the assembly is not an easy thing, because sometimes some of the executive members may belittle the assembly.
Yes.
Because if you look at even what happened in Nairobi, for example, the MCAs felt belittled, and they said we have to fight for our space. So it is upon the governor, or any wise governor, will make sure that he or she works well with the assembly.
Yeah.
Because the MCAs play a very crucial role.
Exactly.
Actually, they are equivalent to the MPs. Very equivalent. Actually, the county assembly is equivalent to the National Assembly, and even the Senate, because even the standing orders which we apply, they are more or less the same as those in the National Assembly.
Yes.
Even now, Victor, as we today discuss about the vetting of the CSs, even at the county level, there will be the appointment committee which shall vet all CSs and all chief officers. So MCAs play a very, very crucial role. And actually it is high time that all stakeholders both in the national government and the county government should understand the crucial role of members of county assembly. They play a very, very crucial role, and they should be given that opportunity and that respect as they play their role.
Yes.
Yes.
Kevin, let me call you Mr. Speaker. Now,
yes.
I remember in the past, I used to call you, but your phone would go unanswered. That was unusual.
Yes.
How has this changed all of a sudden? Because I would assume that each and every government now, everybody's trying to restructure, put their house in order, even the national government.
Yes.
Today we have got CSS nominees starting their vetting today.
Yes.
Allow me to ask you, how is the running of the county in the new dispensation we are right now taking a toll, or how long will it take for the county governments as well as the national government to stabilize, for Kenyans to see that service delivery has now begun to take shape?
Actually, Victor, I agree with you that part of settling.
Yes.
And I'm sure many of us who have assumed these roles have been very, very busy in these.
I can attest to that. Attest to that.
Yes. And I apologize to you and all my other friends who have been able to not able to reach me.
These people are busy. The truth of the matter is you are busy.
Yes, that is true.
Okay.
But that does not mean that we should not be available for our friends.
Yeah.
Especially you, Victor. One thing I can tell you, it is not easy to establish a government. And what is happening now, even at the national level, the president and now governors at the county level are establishing their government.
Yes.
And part of that establishment, number one, is to make sure that they have cabinet. President William Ruto is now trying to get his cabinet, because as we speak, he's using the cabinet of the former president.
It's called the caretaker cabinet.
The caretaker cabinet. That is what he's using for now. So now, even at the county level, we are also, even as part of Kitui County, we are also expecting to get the list of CC nominees by the governor, so that now, you see, no serious business, government business, can be done now at this level without a government, a cabinet. And also, I'm sure even at the national level and also at the county level, supplementary budgets are being prepared. Because the cabinet which comes, I'm sure, the president may want to rearrange the budget and also change the priorities which were there in the previous budget. And you see, the main budget can only be amended through a supplementary budget. The figures will be the same, but now the particulars in the main budget will be changed through the supplementary budget. So, number one, I'm sure that the president, once he gets his cabinet, the CCs, after they are vetted and approved and now finally appointed, that is now when government will begin working.
Yes.
Even at the county level, after the governor gets his cabinet, and now he also gets the supplementary budget approved, that is now when he will begin working as the governor, and now doing his agenda.
Yes.
What they are doing now, they are working or trying to complete the projects which was started by their predecessors.
Exactly.
So it is not easy for any government at this point. Actually, right now, nothing much is happening apart from trying to complete ongoing projects and the payments which had been approved before. They are the ones which are being made now. And you remember now at the county level, there have been strict measures actually imposed on all county executives. They must pay all pending bills.
All the pending bills. That brings to the next question, because the previous administration, and it's been an issue all through. The first administration would pass over the pending bills to the next administration. I don't know how your Governor Malombe, is together with the county officials, is planning to settle all the county pending bills.
Actually, Victor, I can confirm that my governor is very keen into making sure that all pending bills are settled, regardless on whether they were begun by his predecessor, because there are some pending bills which are as a result of when he was the governor in 2017, before he left.
Until 2022.
There are contractors who are never paid.
What is the total amount of pending bills in Kitui, for example?
In Kitui, I think it's around 1.2 billion, if I'm not wrong.
All right.
Yes, because when the governor was reading his inaugural speech to the county assembly, he quoted around 1.2 billion Kenya shillings, and those must be paid.
Yeah.
And he must also complete on any ongoing projects before now he can begin working on his projects. And actually, the people of Kitui County must try to be very patient with us, because working on those pending bills and now completing the ongoing projects will mean that before now the government can begin any new projects, they must first of all deal with those ongoing projects and settle all pending bills. So it is not easy.
Okay.
Yes.
So, as a neutral voice of Kitui County, what should you expect from you as the Speaker for the next 5 years?
For the next 5 years, one thing I can assure the people of Kenya and the people of Kitui County is that I have all it takes to serve in this capacity, and I'll ensure that there is a lot of synergy and harmony between the county assembly and the county executive, because with that kind of synergy, there will be no success in our county. And number two, I must bring all the MCAs together, because in Kitui County, the MCAs come from different political outfits.
Exactly.
We have Wiper, we have NAC, we have Mongano, party called GTAP, CCU, CPK, and there are so many independents. Actually, there are 9 independent candidates. Kitui County, currently, we have a total of 59 MCAs. We are supposed to have 60, but there's one where the by-election will be done in December, 8th of December. And one thing I can say, as a Speaker, I must ensure that these members work together in harmony, regardless of their political outfits. I must be neutral, and I must serve them fairly, regardless of their political parties. Because that is the role of a Speaker. A Speaker is actually invited by the members to come and supervise or help them do their duties. And as Speaker is supposed to ensure that at all times, he or she is fair, is neutral, and he handles all the MCAs with the same measure.
I'm curious, Mr. Speaker, because your county is the same as Tana River County. Tana River County, when I had a discussion with Governor Dado, he said that in his county, all the MCAs came from different political parties. In the county assembly, he was the only ODM governor in Tana River. Everybody else came from different parties. So I'm quite curious to ask you this. How are you going to steer these people coming from different political parties affiliated to different coalitions? Some of them are independent candidates. How will you bring them together in terms of house businesses? You have got, business of the house. You have got legislations to take care of the county assembly. How will you bring them together to make sure that some of these legislations go through?
By making sure that I treat them fairly. One thing I've told them, I am an MCA in every ward. So if a ward has one MCA...
So you are MCA 001?
Yes, I'm the MCA 001. I'm an MCA of every MCA.
Exactly.
Even for the nominated MCAs, in their categories, I'm also an MCA there. Because I want to serve them well and ensure that they all deliver on their mandate. In the House, we should all be united and argue and debate on principle, and also have substantive debates, not based on party politics. They can do their party politics outside the assembly, but inside the assembly, actually, I'll try my best to ensure that my members have unity of purpose. Because without unity of purpose, then it means we shall do politics for the 5 years, and none of us will benefit from that. You see, looking at our county, for example, our county assembly, in 2017, only 6 MCAs were re-elected, the ones who were there.
Wow,
only 6. Now, in 2022, only 4 have been re-elected. And I've told my MCAs, I want to make sure at least 80%, at least get re-elected.
So it's all about self-delivery.
So now, for us to ensure that there is high retention rate of the MCAs, then we must work together, regardless of your party. Because you know, when you are being sworn in, you are being sworn in as a member of county assembly. So regardless of your party, we must work together. And you see now, as I told you, Victor, we are now trying to settle. We just formed the House leadership the other day, where now we have the majority leader and the minority leader and their deputies. Now we also need to have committees, because there is no way a county assembly can operate without committees. So now, even as we resume our House business tomorrow, we shall see if we can get the key committees, like the House Business Committee and the selection committee. Then now, from that point, now we can work on sectoral committees, because there is no way we can even now, Victor, as I'm here, if the governor brings his CC nominees to us, we can't vet them. We don't have the appointment committee in place. Even if the governor brings his supplementary budget,
there's nothing can happen right now.
We don't have the budget committee. So now we have to make sure that we get these committees in place, so that now any business to be undertaken should be undertaken. And Victor, composition of these committees, of course, the standing orders are very clear on how it's supposed to be composed. The standing orders ensure that there is a fairness in the composition of the committees. Even independent candidates are supposed to be properly considered in these committees. Because now, a committee where all parties and...
but independent candidates, there's some debates they should not take sides.
No, what happens, sometimes they may affiliate themselves to a particular party. Then now they get a share of the committees which that party is allocated. But if you look at the standing orders, it is now the duty of the speaker to ensure that the independent candidates are also considered. Because if a party, because you know, the three county standing orders says that every member of county assembly should at least get one committee. At least get one. So regardless of whether you'll join a particular political party or not, you must get one. So as we speak, we'll ensure that we come up with the house committees, and I'm sure, Victor, just Kitui County Assembly, just like all other 47 county assemblies, for us to do our job well, we must be united. And actually, as a member of the County Assembly Forum, and we shall be having our meeting on Friday and then Monday next week, so that we also get the leadership of the County Assembly Forum, whereby now that body will oversee all the county assemblies. We have to ensure that we fight for our members of county assembly. We fight for their welfare. I saw yesterday COG chair, Governor Anweguru, talking to the press and some of the progress they have made with the SRC and the CRA, whereby now the benefits for the governors has been improved. We want the same for our members of county assembly. If you look at the pay, for example, Victor, and it is very to be honest, humiliating to members of the county assembly, looking at how much they earn. If you begin there, they earn peanuts. You can actually see award a CDF manager earning more than an MCA. A CDF manager. So, as speakers, and I'm sure at our national level we shall fight for our members, we have to fight for their welfare. Because if you're not properly empowered, then you can't do your job well. Even if the governor is paid a lot of money and they have their CC who are paid a lot of money and they are there without a proper assembly.
And this is a national concern.
This is a national concern. If the assembly is not properly empowered, then nothing will happen. And actually, on my part, Victor, I have vowed not to be a rubber stamp for the executive. We will do our job of oversight. We will do our job of legislation so as to ensure that the work which has been given to us by the people of Kenya, because we are occupying a state office.
Exactly.
So that work which has been given to us by the people of Kenya must be done well.
What is the priority of Governor Malombe? I'm not being the spokesperson, but I know in his manifesto, in his agenda, there are certain things that you would want to fix in Kitui County. Very fast, before we take a break.
I may not speak very much about his agenda,
yes,
because I'm sure he can do that better.
Yeah.
But one thing I can say, the agenda of the people of Kitui is to ensure that they are properly served.
Yeah.
You see, if you look at where Kitui County is now, people are crying. The basic needs have not been well taken care of. Yeah, and we have told governor that he must look at the basic needs.
Yeah.
Issues of health, for example, health. And I think when the governor was talking to us when he was making his address, he promised to have a level 2 hospital in every village. Every village there will be a dispensary.
Yes.
Yeah, and a level 3 hospital in every sub-county. I mean, in every ward. And then a level 4 hospital in every sub-county. And of course, Mwingi, level 4, and now Kitui will be converted to now training centers, whereby now they can be equivalent to a level 5 hospital. You see, that is very important. And actually, on my part, I am impressed by that. And you should also look at other needs like water. Kitui County, if you look at Ukambani, the 2 largest rivers in Africa, River Tana, Tana River, and now Athi River, they pass the Ru Company, and we have water shortage. We should not be in a position whereby now we are waiting for rains. And like where I come from in Sekuru, Tana River is around 15 kilometers from my home. 15 kilometers only. Yeah.
15.
Yes.
So far, right?
Yeah. So you see, those basic needs must be taken care of, and of course, we must also partner with the national government. And we spoke with governor, and we agreed that we must work with the national government. Like you see, currently, as we are here, Victor, there's a lot of insecurity in a ward called Moda in Kitui South, whereby now we have some of the members from Northeastern, the Somalis, coming to our side, and actually a boy was beheaded just the other day. There's a lot of insecurity. Some of those small issues which may appear like small, but they are very big to our people, must be taken care of. And us as leaders, we have vowed to work together amongst ourselves. Like if it is the assembly, the MCAs, we have decided to work together amongst ourselves, partner with the governor and his team, and also the national government to serve our people. That is our duty, and we must make sure that we deliver on our mandates.
That is point for us to take our first break. It was important for you to have your inaugural speech on the national television as the Speaker of the County Assembly of Kitui County. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, now we are getting into the real deal. We need to take a look at the vetting that is beginning today in the next 1 hour, and of course what we should expect from that committee. We have got numbers, and we'll be giving you names of those who will be facing the panel today. And now, the President said yesterday, give me time and space to deliver. He said that to Honorable Raila Odinga. We'll be discussing that much more when we come back after this break.
The world's biggest sporting event is here with us. The FIFA World Cup 2022 in Qatar. KBC Television will air live 28 selected matches, while radio will beam live all the 64 matches. We would like to bring to the attention of the public that KBC is the only station that has exclusive 2022 FIFA World Cup free-to-air FTA broadcast rights for both TV and radio in the Kenya territory, and no other media outlet. Therefore, catch all the FIFA World Cup action live and exclusive on KBC TV and radio. KBC is indeed your true sports partner.
The 2022 Ballon d'Or winners are set to be revealed on Monday at Theatre du Châtelet, Paris, France. Who will carry home football's most coveted individual trophy? Watch Ballon d'Or award ceremony as it unveils the winners from 8:50 p.m. live on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Who could be staying here? That's so important.
It's Lady Betsy of Green Hill.
Betsy of Green Hill is here? Why wouldn't you let me know this earlier?
I feel sorry for the prince. I bet she's put a charm on Genova.
I seem to recall speaking ill of immortals is not allowed in the palace. Am I right?
You let him drink, didn't you? He's been asleep since yesterday afternoon. What's going on?
I thought that since you brought Betsy here, that things were going really well with you two. But judging by your face, that doesn't seem to be the case.
Are you just trying to upset me? You know that's not what I mean.
All right, welcome back. Now, talk to us on our social media platforms. You can reach me at VictorLaw at KBC Channel 1. What's your Twitter handle?
Mr. KK Kevin.
Mr. KK Kevin. You can also follow him there and send questions. More so, he's talked about an insecurity in part of Ukambani. I believe the security apparatus in that particular region will have to do something about it now that the police so far has been motivated to take care of security issues seriously. So as it is, you said the region is called?
Moda Ward,
Kitui
Ward. South.
All right, in Kitui South. So the police apparatus kindly take charge, and the story of a little boy being beheaded is quite painful. So something should be done. All right, so let's talk about what is going to be happening today. The government is shaping up, and the nominees today to face the panel is Musalia Mudavadi, Justin Muturi, Aden Duale, Alfred Mutua, Alice Wahome, and Davis Chirchir. The first person to face the panel is Musalia Mudavadi for the position of Prime Cabinet Secretary. So let me ask you, what is the situation be like? Because there's a contention on who Musalia Mudavadi should be, actually. Is it anchored in the Constitution or just hot air?
Victor, I can tell you, as an advocate, that every president under the Constitution should have between 14 and 22 cabinet secretaries.
Constitutionally in Kenya?
Yes, in Kenya. And looking at the list which was issued by our president, he gave us 22 cabinet secretaries. But now, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, his portfolio is Prime Cabinet Secretary. The way we have Professor Kithure Kindiki as a CS for Interior. So, from where I sit and I understand the National Assembly Speaker, Honorable Wetangula, will be giving his ruling on whether Mudavadi should be vetted, is that Musalia Mudavadi will be vetted as a cabinet secretary, but his portfolio will be Prime Cabinet Secretary, and the duties have been highlighted that he will be now in charge of, he will be assisting the president and his deputy in supervising and ensuring implementation of all government programs and projects. So I think nothing will stop Honorable Mudavadi from being vetted. He is being vetted as a cabinet secretary. And you see, there was an executive order issued by the president, because you know every president has the power to restructure his or her government. You have seen, for example, Victor, we don't have the Ministry of Devolution.
No, we don't have.
I'm sure it will be a department somewhere. I don't know where.
Yes.
I'm sure the Minister of Devolution will be a department somewhere. So every president, as he forms a government, he is given the power and the duty to restructure his government the way he deems fit. And there is no constitutional illegality in on our president William Ruto naming Musalia Mudavadi as a prime cabinet secretary. There's no illegality there.
Yeah.
So in my opinion,
it's not a duplication or something out of ordinary of him being appointed. So the bottom line is he is a cabinet secretary.
Yes, that is a role, and
yes.
I'm sure even I saw a statement by the minority leader, Honorable Opio Wandai, and I think he's the one who brought that motion before the House that Honorable Mudavadi, that office is unconstitutional, and with a lot of respect to him. Even in Azimio, I'm sure we all know that the Wiper Party leader was to be given that role of a prime minister. Yeah, and now in Kenya Kwanza, the Honorable Mudavadi was now given that position of a prime cabinet secretary, and it's upon the president to issue an executive order. The way you saw the former president issuing an executive order and naming Matiang'i to be now the like a chief minister, because he was in charge of all other cabinet secretaries. So Mudavadi, just like Matiang'i, will be in charge of all other ministers through an executive order.
Right.
Yes.
So what will be the role of deputy president now? Because it has to be distinct. The deputy president will have a distinct role as well as Musalia Mudavadi. So because ordinarily the deputy president should chair the intergovernmental committees of the governors and what have you. So the role of Musalia Mudavadi will be to oversee the running of all cabinet positions, all the ministries in the country.
As I've said, Victor, it is upon the president to restructure his government. The deputy president, even as per the constitution, is the principal assistant to the president. There are no specific roles given to the deputy president. And it is now the responsibility of the president to say, this is the role of my deputy, this is the role of the prime cabinet secretary. I'm sure in their restructuring, when they meet after appointment, they will now put specific roles for each. But from what I heard from the president is that a prime cabinet secretary will be there to support the president and his deputy.
Okay, let's talk about the personality of Musalia Mudavadi. He's been in a position of a deputy president before, vice president then, and he's held different positions in the cabinet from the Moise regime until now. But now he's coming back after 10 years. Let's talk about a bit of his personality now that he's coming back after 10 years.
Honorable Musalia Mudavadi is a man I respect and a lot, actually, because I've worked with him. I worked with him in 2017 in the NASA campaigns, and I have high regards for him because he's a very principled man, I can tell you, Victor, and he takes firm positions. You know, when he said that at Bomas during his NDC, people did not expect that he will take that move, make that move and join Kenya Kwanza, but he made the decision and he stuck with it. I think I can say, and you remember, you see, in 2013, he decided to go alone. Yeah, and but I think 2013 he was with he went alone, but now 2017 is when he joined Raila. Right. And you see, if he's a man, you can't just wish him off, because see, if he was with Raila in 2013, I can tell you, Raila would have been the president. Yeah, in 2017, of course, after he came and this we are dealing with an incumbent government, but his force was felt. Actually, he was in charge of the NASA campaigns in 2017. He was like the chair of the entire campaign secretariat, and we have also seen his role in Kenya Kwanza. So as a politician, he has been able to do his best to remain at the national level, regardless of now being in the cold for 10 years, but he has tried to make sure he's up there, to be relevant. Right. And we all used to see him making statements and trying to put the government, the then government, on check on issues of economy, because I think he's a distinguished economist, and I believe him having that position as a Prime Cabinet Secretary, at least he will ensure that our economy is restored. And I think I heard him saying that if it means going and meeting every person we owe out there, all our debtors, he said he will meet them and if possible try to restructure our loans, because I just heard the other day that we have been fined for the SGR, for late payment of the SGR.
Yes.
A lot of money in terms of billions. So it means now we have to meet our debtors. We need somebody who has the experience in economics, so that now we can be able to meet our debtors and restructure. Because to be honest, and looking at how our economy is right now, Victor, we are doing badly. To be honest, we are doing very badly. If petrol is 178 in Nairobi, kerosene I think should be around 140 something there about. To be honest, we are doing badly. And you see, these things cannot reduce the cost, because the government must get money to pay these debts. So we need people who will enable us to at least to stabilize the economy. And to be honest, with a lot of humility, Victor, looking at all the cabinet secretary nominees, the most experienced one is Honorable Musalia Mudavadi. Whether he got the position politically, but I think he will fit very well. He will be able to be given that position. And I think economic recovery should be the #1 priority to our government.
Because when you look at the Kenya Kwanza, government, he's now poised to be the third most powerful person there after the president, his deputy Rigathi, and now Musalia Mudavadi. What do you think is going to bring on board to Kenya Kwanza government?
Of course, I can certainly correct and saying in the executive it will be #3.
Yes.
But overally, you see, after president, deputy, we come to the National Assembly Speaker.
Exactly.
Yeah, but now in the executive, he is #3.
Yes.
And you see him being #3, and I believe that good working relationship will be maintained all through. That will play a very crucial role, because you see,
when you look at his age, because he's older than Rigathi, the deputy, and even the president himself.
Yes. Actually, even apart from his main duties, I'm sure he will play some advisory role
as an elder to
the president and the deputy. Because so I can say our president is surrounded by a very experienced man. This is a person who has been there before. He has seen it all. He has been the vice president. He has been the deputy prime minister. He has been a minister in very crucial dockets, like now when he was in the local government minister, and now he also became the minister for finance. Those were very crucial dockets in our government. So the role he will take now is equally very crucial, and we need somebody who has the capacity to soberly supervise implementation of the all government projects. So I believe he has what it takes. And looking at all of that list, because I've looked at it, he fits there perfectly.
He fits there.
Yes.
Let's talk about one gentleman, Justin Muturi, who is poised to be the next Attorney General. He's leaving the other side arm of the government and is now coming to head the bigger part of the judiciary, the Attorney General. Let's talk about him. I'm so sure you've met him several times in one corridor or another. Let's talk about his personality. What do you think he's going to bring on board and to the Kenya Kwanza government?
Honorable Justin Muturi is a man I respect. Of course, he's my senior in the legal profession.
Right.
And he has lived, if I may say, a full life as a professional. Remember, he began in the judiciary.
Yes, as a magistrate.
Yes, in 1982 until 1987. Actually, as a very young magistrate, because after his admission to the bar in 1982, immediately became an advocate, a magistrate. So he has worked in the judiciary. Then now he came to the legislature. He became an MP, I think in 2013. I mean in 2002. He became an MP in 2002. Then in 2013, he becomes a speaker. 2017 as speaker again. I think, and now he's become the AG, which is a very crucial position actually in the success of any government. The AG is the chief legal advisor to the president. He's occupying a very crucial role, a position in the executive. And that position of an AG, Attorney General, is a very, very crucial position.
Yes.
Because everything revolves around law. Everything. So,
the chief advisor to the president.
Yes, chief advisor to the president. Having served as a magistrate, he knows very well what needs to be done with regards to judiciary.
Yeah.
Having been an MP, then a speaker for 2 terms, he knows how laws and all legislation should be passed. You can actually advise the president on the relevant legislations to be passed by the parliament. You can advise him perfectly on that.
Yeah.
And of course, before the president makes any decisions which have legal implication, now he is there to advise him.
To give the final rubber stamp. But then he's coming on board. The previous during the vetting and even the predecessors, somebody would have argued that they would have expected an Attorney General to come from the judiciary directly from the corridors of justice to fill that position. But now we are seeing Justin Muturi coming from Parliament as the Speaker and now going to head that docket as the Attorney General. And of course the same happened with Charles Njonjo. What do you think? Do you really think now the judiciary has now been given some kind of a backseat to relax and then pick someone who actually practiced legal matters earlier before, went to Parliament and now back? Do you think somebody would have been picked from the judiciary directly?
I will not say yes or no, Victor. But you remember, an AG is a political appointment. And that position is a political position.
Yes.
And as much as we need somebody who is knowledgeable in matters law, we also need somebody with a political background. Because some of these decisions, whether legal, they are political.
Yeah.
That is the truth. Yeah. So we need a lawyer, an advocate who is also very knowledgeable matters politics, because every decision the president will make will be a political decision, but that decision must be within the law. So he needs somebody to advise him with a lot of experience before he makes this decision, which is legal. Then now he has to know the political repercussion of that decision. Because if we pick somebody directly from judiciary, that is good. But remember, we are not having a judge or magistrate in the executive. We are having an AG. A judge or magistrate will perfectly fit in the judiciary and do their job there. And of course, if the president will also be guided by the judiciary. He will be fully guided by the judiciary. That's why they have to work.
He's still a member of the bar.
Yes, that's what they have. Not even the AG, but I'm saying the CJ will also be playing adversarial role to the president. So the president has not completely blocked himself from the judiciary, because the judiciary, the legislature, and the executive must work hand in hand.
Absolutely.
So having the AG now nominee, Honorable Muturi, I think is even a plus to the judiciary. Because this is somebody, he's one of them who actually even went to the political side, the legislature, and now being the AG, he will actually work very well with the judiciary, because he will actually even be sitting at the Judicial Service Commission. The AG, as per our constitution, is a member of the Judicial Service Commission. So he will be there with them, and they will be able to also understand them better.
Absolutely.
When it comes to how the executive should support the judiciary. Yes.
Okay, before we come to the profile of all these other candidates, we have Eden Duale, Alfred Mutua, Alisa Home, and Davis Chirchir. Is this just but a PR? Because we would expect, based on the previous, on even our history, none of the nominees has ever been rejected by the vetting committee. So is this but a PR?
I will not say it is a PR, because maybe they haven't been rejected because they were capable, they were competent, or maybe the president made a good choice of the nominees. So I wouldn't say it is a PR, but I will say, Victor, this notion of vetting was actually adopted from the US.
Right.
Whereby in the US, even the president, before he submits his list of ministers to the parliament for approval, he has to do proper background check. Because if he doesn't, he will be embarrassed by the parliament, because the parliament will not be used as, in the US, and you saw sometimes you see the president did not have control over the legislature. Yeah, even though currently, as it is now, Kenya Kwanza is controlling the parliament. That's why we may call it a PR. But I believe we have members of parliament who are there to do their job. Yeah, not just to be rubber stamp. And I heard the National Assembly Speaker saying that they will do proper vetting. Yeah, they will not be used as a rubber stamp. So I believe that the 22 CS nominees will be properly vetted. But Victor, also politically, looking at the composition of the appointment committee, yes, it is dominated by Kenya Kwanza.
By the Kenya Kwanza.
Yeah, because
so the minority might not overrule the majority.
Yeah, because even
right?
the members of that committee, we have 8, 12 from Kenya Kwanza and 10 from Azimio. So of course, by numbers, you have the numbers.
It's a plus.
Then of course we have now the deputy, the speaker, and the deputy speaker, who are also from Kenya Kwanza. So we may say Kenya Kwanza, though the speaker does not have a vote, but the deputy speaker has a vote. So we may say Kenya Kwanza has 13, Azimio has 10.
Yes.
So
the
numbers. Yes. But I believe the appointment committee will be guided by the Constitution of Kenya 2010 to be specific chapter 6. On leadership and integrity. We also have the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act 2011. I hope they'll be guided by that. Let them also be guided by the Leadership and Integrity Act.
Which brings us to the next question, because chapter 6 is quite fundamental.
Yes.
And of course, Mr. Speaker, you know what really happens? In the past, we've had some of these candidates, having integrity issues.
Yes.
We've been struggling as a country to make sure that chapter 6 is completely adhered to.
Yes.
And this is where the vetting committee will have to put the authority on chapter 6. I don't know what is your take. Being an advocate of the High Court, some of these candidates have got questionable background and they're still appointed to the position of a CS. Chapter 6. Let's talk about that.
Chapter 6 is a very crucial part of the Constitution with regards to leadership in our country. And anybody who has contravened chapter 6, of course, will be taken to court. And now where many people take refuge is Article 93 and Article 193 of the Constitution, whereby before you exhaust all the legal remedies available to you, then you can be told that you have fully contravened chapter 6 and you can't be allowed to occupy a state office. Yeah, so many of these people who are perceived to have contravened chapter 6, I'm sure many of them have pending court matters in court. They have pending cases in court. Yeah, so if you would say so and so has a corruption case, it is ongoing. There's an active appeal, so there's nothing you can do about it. But ideally speaking, if somebody has contravened chapter 6 and he or she has been taken to court and the court has ruled against them and there's no pending appeal, then they should not be allowed to occupy a state office.
But as it is, all of them have a pass to face the panel.
Yes, all of them have a pass to face the panel. And you see, this panel does not just look at chapter 6. They also need to look at the professional capacity of these nominees. If somebody, like for example, if somebody has been appointed to be the CS for, allow me to pick the example of the CS for water, Alice Wahome. If she appears before the committee today, then they need to also, apart from now the leadership part, a capacity. Does he have the professional background to do that job well? It is not upon me, but the committee. And actually, if Kenyans be given a chance to participate, those are the things they should ask. Is this person competent? Yeah. CS for defense, is this person competent? If it is the Prime Cabinet Secretary, is he competent? Those are the things we should look at.
Yes.
Yeah. But of course,
what do you think? Do you really think it should be this? It should be so that if you have somebody, for example, sanitation, water and sanitation, for example, you have somebody who has got a background on the same profession, a water engineer, for example, that person, somebody who, Minister of Sports, you pick someone who's been in the sports before, to head that particular docket, as compared to picking someone, for example, whoever we are seeing filling these positions, to form the government. What do you think at that particular point?
That was actually the spirit.
Yes.
Which was there when the constitution was being drafted, because and that's why these cabinet secretaries should be professionals outside parliament. Yeah, whereby this should be someone who has the professional background in that particular department. That's how it should be. But you see, the constitution did not elaborate on now the particular requirements. That if you want to become the minister for water, these are the requirements. You must have done degree in this, this and this. It is just a vague requirement. Because if I say I've served, I have a knowledge in engineering, and I say, no, lawyers, we say we are learned friends, we know everything. we know a little about everything. So by virtue of me being a lawyer, I can say I have an idea in water and sanitation.
Yes.
I have an idea in IT.
And you have a pass.
And I have a pass. Yeah, maybe as we look at amending our constitution, though we look at it politically, where we want to create positions and look at where, because I heard the president say the law exists to safeguard the people. We don't exist to safeguard the law. It is the law to safeguard us.
Exactly.
And if the law does not safeguard our interests, then it should be amended. If it can be amended, it should be repealed.
Yes.
And I heard that quote from our president. And I think what we should do, if we talk of a constitutional amendment, let it be based on issues which will now enhance service delivery to Kenyans. Because the issue of cabinet secretary is a very crucial issue.
It is.
Because the president, sometimes he may be tempted to award his political friends, loyalists. Because I heard the deputy president say they will first award those who came first. They are loyalists who went there first.
Yes.
Then the others who came late will wait until what has been left they can be given. So I think even before they think of rewarding their loyalists, are these loyalists capable to serve Kenyans in the best way possible? So I think as we think of amending our constitution, and even the parliament should come up actually with the necessary legislation to guide. Because if you look at the Public Appointment Parliament Approval Act, it is so shallow. It just gives the procedure to be used. Just the procedure. It doesn't even say if you look at the first schedule, which is actually meant to guide on the vetting, it is very shallow. It does not even specify the criteria to be met by all these nominees. So that's why I may even agree with you. That's why I told you I will agree with you partly on the fact that this vetting could be a PR exercise. Partly, I agree with you partly.
And that goes to the next question. Now, what's now the role of a common mwananchi? Because that aspect of public participation, we have the vetting committee from both political divide. But the person who is going to get the service delivered directly from these CSs is nowhere. Where should public participation be completely brought in the vetting process?
I think public participation, from my knowledge, is that after, for example, after Honorable Mudavadi is vetted today, now during the committee sitting, I'm sure members of the public will be invited to give their views. Even now, before the report can be prepared by the Parliament Committee and now taken to the plenary for debate. I'm sure that is the public will be involved at the committee level, and whereby now they will give their views and their comments about these particular candidates generally. And you see, Victor, how I wish the public was involved during the vetting itself. How I wished that was the case, and I hope it will be the case. Because these cabinet secretaries, nominees, will be there to serve the common mwananchi directly. They'll be there to serve the common mwananchi. So I think the mwananchi should be fully involved, and how they determine who to invite to the committee, to give the mwananchi to invite. That's another question, because they may invite their own people.
Exactly.
So that's why the PR part of it can be, because people should be allowed to to apply maybe, and there should be a neutral body which will say, let's invite so and so. Because if they invite the people who are in support of those particular nominees, of course they will say they are good, let them be passed. So the entire exercise, and I believe because our president wants to make sure that he has a competent cabinet, I believe he will give the necessary goodwill and support to the Parliament Appointment Committee to do a proper job. If the Appointment Committee tells him, Mr. President, so and so does not fit, I believe he will respect that. So let's hope, let's wait, because actually initially the Appointment Committee was to be given 14 days, but I think it was increased to 28. So that they can do a proper vetting. And I'm told by what the Speaker of National Assembly said, by 27th of this month, they intend to have that report before the House for debate. And I think maybe by around early November, I'm sure the list, I think they said 8th of November, that is when now the President will be, the vetting will end. And actually the law says, if the Appointment Committee does not submit their report within 28 days, then automatically all those nominees will be approved automatically. So let's hope the Appointment Committee will do a good job within those 28 days and submit the names to the President for appointment.
Let's take a break and we come back. We're still going to talk more about this because we need to understand how it's going to be. And of course, before that is a live feed from the County Hall where the action will be taking place. All systems go there. We have got the committee members already taking their positions. The first person to face that panel is Musalia Mudavadi. This is something that is going to be foreign to him because he's going to be doing this for the very first time in a very long time to face the panel. And of course, be sure that this is where you're going to be getting that live feed directly from the County Hall once they begin. That should be happening in the next few. So let's take a break and we come back. We are still having that discussion with the Speaker of Kitui County Assembly, Kevin Katisia. We'll be back after this.
Saini sangapi?
Sina saa.
Woi! Hii unagaga mafamba ya. Unajua mgaga ako na mechanical problems.
Wewe usiingize huko ndani. Karibu nipate nini? Cesarean stroke kwa roho.
Wagwan Rasta. Kumbuka kila Monday ni Iris serving you nothing but the best in reggae music.
Maisha ni yangu, wewe shughulika na yako.
And on Tuesday, it's all about Kenyan music, bringing you the best from the 2-5 flow.
And of course, to all you hip-hop heads, we've got you covered each and every Wednesday. Not forgetting, we've got some R&B on the side.
Let me see the woman that is with me.
Now, every Thursday, tunavuka border across Africa to bring you nothing but the best for Afro Thursday.
Ready for burn up warning, someone's playing.
And on Friday, we do it live with me, Emily Mbai.
And me, DJ Koljax, on the ones and twos.
Not forgetting DJ_Lizadiva Pale Pia. Make sure you get interactive from 4:30 to 6 p.m. #KBC Club 1.
The 2022 Ballon d'Or winners are set to be revealed on Monday at Theatre du Châtelet, Paris, France. Who will carry home football's most coveted individual trophy? Watch Ballon d'Or award ceremony as it unveils the winners from 8:50 p.m. live on KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Good turn. Miller inside the penalty area. He gets off the line. He's the only swinger in town. Roger Miller has got the Cameroon bench absolutely ecstatic. Higuita seems to want to get involved. I do not believe it. He's thrown the chances away now. That's it. 2-0. Roger Miller, and that is always the danger. Roger Miller makes this World Cup belong to Cameroon.
Welcome back. Today being the D-Day, and we expect that vetting process to begin right now. Director, if we have that feed one more time, kindly. That from the county hall where the vetting of the CSS will begin in just a few, in the next 20 or so minutes, where Musalia Mudavadi will be taking his position for that position of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. And with me in studio, we're just going to go through the legal aspect and generally what we should expect from that committee in the vetting. That will be vetting the Cabinet Secretaries in the Kenya Kwanza government. And in studio with me, I have got Kevin Katisia, who is the Speaker of Kitui County Assembly. So the question of you spoke of the vetting process is borrowed majorly from the West.
Yes.
Where the president will have to forward the names to the vetting committee. But what we see in the West is quite thorough as compared to ours. Some of the nominees in the West, probably, for example, in the US, they would even go back to when you are still a student. Some would go back to when you are unemployed. We even see cases of attempted rape when someone was working as a clerk in some office in the 70s, in the 80s. But we don't see that here in Kenya. What do you think should happen so that at the very point someone is getting that position, then due diligence is done to the candidate?
Yeah, that is actually how it should be, whereby proper background check should be done. And that's how these clearance documents are usually required, like the DCI certificate of good conduct, because if you have a criminal past, that should be exposed and put to the light. And if that criminal past was not dealt with, perhaps maybe you went to court, you were convicted, there was no appeal, the conviction is still active, then that is an integrity issue.
Yes.
And that's why, again, we go back to now the EACC. They believe these bodies, the DCI, the EACC.
Even as you speak, those are live feeds. That is Opio Wandai, the minority leader right now in the National Assembly, ready.
And Ichungwa, the majority leader.
Exactly, and Kimani Ichungwa, who is the majority leader there. They're ready to take their positions and just do their bit. Let's continue.
Yes, so ideally, Victor, this vetting process should be done professionally. Politics aside. They should the committee should have a full report, full intelligence report on all these nominees. A report from the DCI, a report from the EACC, a report which will now give the committee the knowledge on the background of these particular candidates.
Yes.
Because apart from now the integrity part, and the criminal part, they also need to know whether these people are competent. If, for example, somebody was working in a particular organization and he or she had various misconduct while at work, and he or she was even terminated for those gross misconduct, then why should the committee entertain such a person, for example? Yeah, and that's why this committee should be above politics and do their job. And actually, if the Kenya Kwanza team want to assist the president, then let them help the president get a good team. Because the president, I'm sure his inner circle helped him come up with these nominees. But now, the National Assembly, which is a very, very crucial arm of the government, should be in a position to assist the government, the executive, come up with competent nominees to occupy these cabinet positions.
Exactly.
Because without a competent cabinet, then believe me, Victor, the president will not deliver on his mandate. And remember, Kenyans have a lot of expectations from the president.
Because they say that the delivery of the president will depend on his cabinet.
Yes.
Because the president will not be directly involved. He delegates his duties to the cabinet that he'll have.
Yes.
So this kind of cabinet that the president is constituting, I've asked a question here before. Technocrats or politicians or a blend?
From what I see, I think it is purely politicians. I think 99% are politicians, maybe with a professional, with a technical mind. But I think most of them, Victor,
are politicians.
They are politicians.
Yes.
That is the truth. They are politicians. And to be a politician is not a crime. To be a politician should not make you not become a technocrat. So I think because a politician also understands the real needs of the people. Sometimes we need to strike a balance, because you can hire a technocrat who does not even know the real issues affecting the mwananchi, who does not know how to engage the mwananchi and know what the mwananchi wants.
Okay, let me ask you this question. As a Speaker of the County Assembly, what should you expect from the County Hall? Because the CSS who will be picked, the decisions and the signatures that they will do or they'll have will directly affect even the operations of the County Assembly and even the counties. So what should you expect from the County Hall?
I expect the appointment committee at the County Hall to appoint and to vet and approve people who will work with them in ensuring proper service delivery to the people of Kenya. Because remember, these cabinet secretaries are supposed to appear before various committees in the House and account for what they are doing.
Right.
Yeah. So, you can have some people who are very arrogant and who does not even have regard to the parliament. But since these people, most of them are politicians, I'm sure they know they will respect the House.
They're friends and they know
they are friends and they'll appear before them and be accountant. But the question is, will you do proper oversight on your friend, Victor?
That's
a question which we need to speak on Lawton, but let's hope, friends aside, these people will...
service delivery is key.
Exactly, because these are state offices. And being a CC actually is a very, very senior position in government. Actually, the success of any government depends on the capacity of the cabinet. And I believe, just like myself in Kitui County, I will assist the governor come up with a good cabinet, because as a speaker, I am automatically the chair of the appointment committee, and I'll make sure that the list, the names which we shall approve people who are competent to serve in government. People who understand what the mwananchi wants, and people who are there to ensure proper service delivery to the people. Because after today, Victor, after Musalia Mudavadi is vetted and approved, after Duale, Kuria, all those nominees are vetted and approved, believe you me, they will even be more powerful than these MPs. And maybe to reach them will become a problem. But they should always know that they should be accountable to the people of Kenya through the elected members of
there
Parliament.
isn't that aspect that members of they should come and answer questions to full house in Parliament.
Yes.
Something that we've never seen in the last regime.
Yes.
And now President Ruto is also proposing that members, the cabinet secretary should come and answer questions in the floor of the house. I don't know what's your thought of that.
I agree with it.
Yes.
Because there should be proper and efficient accountability. But of course, before they go to the full house, they will appear before the sectoral committee in charge of that particular department. Then now, from the sectoral committee, they can appear before the full house and give an account of what they have been doing in their particular department. That's a good thing. That's a good thing that the president is giving the parliament the chance to properly put his government on check. And the president as well is our senior, is our president. We respect him, but I believe from what he said during his inaugural speech after his swearing in, he should also allow the
that is Speaker
opposition.
of the National Assembly.
Yes.
Moses Wetangula. I think right now what's happening there is just housekeeping.
Yes.
Giving instructions and guidelines on whatever is going to happen. And when you see Speaker there, that gives a clear indication that that exercise is just about to begin, because once the Speaker has taken his position, then we should expect that the first candidate will be taking his position anytime from now. With this, and based on what you've just said, Cabinet Secretary is coming to the floor of the House to answer questions to members of Parliament. Do you really think this is exactly what should also happen to the county assemblies, where CECs are also answerable to the county assembly members?
That is true, Victor.
Yes.
There should be a complete replica of what happens at the National Assembly, at the county assembly, because to be honest, we are guided by the same procedures.
Exactly.
These procedures are more or less the same. They are only customized to fit in a particular county, but they are more or less the same procedures. And I believe my governor will allow us, the assembly, to assist him put his cabinet on check. Because some of these cabinets can also go against the governor.
Yeah.
Because you see, once you are given that responsibility, you can make decisions which are binding to the county government without even the governor having a know-how of of the decisions you have made.
Yes.
So the governor, I'm sure, will allow the assembly to do their job of oversight, and we are seriously asking him to allow full participation of the members of the county assembly during all public participation forums. And also when the executive is working on project implementation, let also the members of the county assembly be fully involved during project implementation, because it is at the level of project implementation that is where now you can start doing your oversight. But if he wants to involve us at the last minute, after a project has not been done properly, maybe a bridge
that
has
you
been
will not have a background check on what really happened.
We want actually to work as a team with the executive, but that does not mean that we sleep in the same bed with the executive. No, let them do their job and we do our job, but let us be partners who work with mutual respect to each other. Let the executive respect the assembly, because actually when you talk of protocol in the county, any county government, after the governor we have the deputy governor, then we have the speaker, members of county assembly. But you see in some situations where a CEC or even a CEO thinks they are even superior to a member of county assembly. That one I will not allow actually in my county, and I've said it before. And actually that should be the same thing should happen at the national level, whereby an MP who has been given that mandate by the people of his or her respective constituency should be senior to the CS.
Exactly.
Not the other way around.
But the question is, can that happen selectively? For example, Kitui County or Nairobi or whichever county, that they have their own standing orders where CECs appear before the members of the county assembly to answer questions. Can a particular county have that standing order? Or should it happen generally in all the 47
No,
counties?
they can have their own standing orders. They can
Okay.
yes, they can have their own standing orders. We have only said that, you see, many county assemblies replicated the standing orders from the National Assembly. But when they come down to their level now, they can customize them to fit their particular needs.
Yes.
And no law can prevent a particular county assembly from now putting orders which now indicate that a CC should come to the full house and give a report of what they are doing. So, Victor, in my honest opinion, I think it is high time that elected or nominated leaders who are representatives of the people should be given the respect they deserve. And I can see Honorable Mudavadi has already arrived.
There you have it.
Yes.
Yeah, that is
yes.
Among National Congress leader, Musalia Mudavadi, already taking his position to answer questions from the committee there. That is live feed from the county hall. And of course, today we have, being the Monday 17th, we have got Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi, Honorable Justin Muturi, we have Honorable Eden Bare Dwale, Honorable Dr. Alfred Nganga Mutua, and finally today is Honorable Alice Wahome, who is now the MP of Kandara and being vetted for the position of water and sanitation. Director, probably can take a quick listen on what's happening on the floor of the House there.
Additionally, the National Assembly Standing Order 2044 spells out the mandate of the Committee on Appointments, which is to consider for approval by the House appointments of the Cabinet Secretaries under Article 152(2) of the Constitution. The procedure for conduct of approval hearings of constitutional appointments is provided for in the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act number 33 of 2011, hereinafter referred to as the Act. Section 5(1) of the Act provides that the appointing authority shall, upon nominating a person for an appointment to which the Act applies, notify the relevant House of Parliament accordingly. Pursuant to Section 5(1) of the Act, the House received a message from His Excellency the President nominating various persons for appointment to the offices of the Cabinet Secretaries, the Attorney General, and the Secretary to the Cabinet. Upon receipt of the message, the Speaker notified the House of the message from the President in communication dated 6 October 2022 and guided that the Committee on Appointments does proceed to conduct the vetting exercise and approval hearings as required under Article 124(4)(a) of the Constitution. Article 118 of the Constitution provides that Parliament shall facilitate public participation and involvement in the legislative business and other business of Parliament and its committees. Section 6(4) of the Act further provides that the clerk shall notify the public of the time and place for holding an approval hearing at least 7 days prior to the hearing. In this regard, the clerk did publish an advert in the local dailies and notify the public of the time and place for holding the approval hearings of the nominees in accordance with the requirements of Article 118 of the Constitution and Section 6(4) of the Act. Section 6(9) of the Act provides that any person may, prior to the approval hearing and by written statement on oath, provide the clerk with evidence contesting the suitability of a candidate to hold the office to which the candidate has been nominated. To this end, and in accordance with the requirements of Section 6(9) of the Act, the clerk, via an advertisement published on 7th October 2022 in various local dailies, did invite the public to submit memoranda contesting the suitability of any of the persons nominated to the offices of the Cabinet Secretaries, Attorney General, and the Secretary to the Cabinet. By close of the date and time of receiving the memoranda from the public, the committee had received a total of 22 memoranda which the committee shall consider in seeking to determine the suitability of the respective nominees to hold office.